Welcome back. I'm Pratap here. Today is 19th November 2024. In this video, I'm going to generate different supply demand zone reports useful to the premium subscribers. First, I'm going to generate different reports for finding the stocks near demand and supply zones. During this process, I will also identify daily and 75 minutes high liquidity zones. Okay, starting with the half-yearly time frame, let us find the stocks near half-yearly demand zone. One stock is filtered near to the half-yearly demand zone. I'm giving you only few seconds time, so that is the reason why I request you pause the video, study the report, and then you can further proceed with the next reports. In case if you don't understand how to study this report, I request you complete our training lesson 21.1. In that video, I have explained each and every column, their values, abbreviations in detail. And also remember, all these zones are based on the equity charts. So you need to draw the zones in the equity charts, not in the future charts. Never draw the charts on the futures charts. Whenever the price reaches the equity chart, at the time whenever the price reaches the zone in equity chart, at that time whatever the price in the futures, with that price you can take the trades. That way you have to plan. But never draw the zones directly on the future charts. That will result in inaccuracy because the future charts are not accurate. Same thing I explained in today's HLQ zone analysis video. Okay, next, for half-yearly time frame, let's find the stocks near half-yearly supply zone. No stocks are available. Next time frame is quarterly. Let's find the stocks near quarterly demand zone. 3 stocks are filtered. Next, quarterly time frame, stocks near quarterly supply zone. 2 stocks are filtered. Next time frame is a monthly, stocks near monthly demand zone. 9 stocks are filtered. Next, monthly time frame, stocks near monthly supply zone. 2 stocks we got. Next, monthly time frame, price closed inside the monthly demand zone, but need to remove the pierced zones. So monthly demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count, at monthly time frame, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means pierced count is 0. Pierced count 0 means zone is not pierced. So these are the first 21 stocks. I'm scrolling the list down. So total 24 stocks are filtered where price closed inside the monthly demand zone. If you want to know, I have probability setup zones based on the EMA Confluence, monthly EMA Confluence with monthly demand zone. So in the EMA Confluence monthly time frame, I am enabling the filter monthly demand zone with having monthly EMA Confluence. Always remember, EMA Confluence does not add any advantage in sideways market. So that's why in the trend at monthly time frame, I am eliminating sideways and keeping the up and down trend. With these filters, we got 16 stocks. These 16 stocks you can use as either HTF zone or ITF zone. That way you can plan bullish trade setups or counter trend trade setups against the trend. Okay. Next, for monthly time frame, price closed inside the monthly supply zone, and these monthly supply zones should not be pierced. So in the pierced count, At monthly time frame, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got only one stock. And moreover, the supply zone is a high liquidity supply zone. Let us check the supply zone is having a monthly EMA confluence. In the EMA confluence, monthly time frame, monthly supply zone with monthly EMA confluence. So the stock is not having any EMA confluence. Okay, next time frame is weekly. Stocks near weekly demand zone. 14 stocks are filtered. Next, stocks near monthly supply zone. 9 stocks are filtered. Next, weekly time frame. Price closed inside weekly demand zone. These weekly demand zones should not be pierced. So in the pierced count, weekly time frame, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. Zone is not pierced. So this is the filter list. First 16 stocks in the list. I am scrolling the list down. "27 stocks are filtered. Currently, price closed inside these 27 weekly demand zones. In these 27, there are some high probability setup supported zones based on weekly EMA confluence. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence, weekly time frame, weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence. But it should not be having sideways trend. So trend zone violation, weekly time frame, selecting up or down. Let us filter the stocks. We got 9 stocks. All these 9 demand zones are having weekly EMA confluence. Okay, next for weekly time frame, price closed inside the weekly supply zone, and these weekly supply zones should not be pierced. So in the pierced count, weekly time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With that, we got 8 stocks. Currently, price closed in these 8 weekly supply zones. In these 8 weekly supply zones, there could be high probability zones based on weekly EMA confluence. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence, weekly time frame, weekly supply zone with having weekly EMA confluence, and it should not be having sideways trend. So zone violation trend, weekly time frame, selecting up or down trends. With these filters, we got 3 stocks. In these 3 weekly supply zones, they are having weekly EMA confluence because trend is weekly trend is up. They are good stocks for counter trend trade setup related trade plans. Okay, next time frame is daily. So entry time frame daily. Let us find the stocks near daily demand zone. 12 stocks are filtered. Let us identify high liquidity daily demand zones from this list. Idea is having a high liquidity daily demand zone, but is a 2023 stock, May month. Probably 5-minute zones may not be available when you fine tune. Next one is MFSL. Next one is emphasis. That's it. We have 3 high liquidity daily demand zones from this list. Okay, next for daily time frame, let us find the stocks near to the daily supply zone. We got 9 stocks. Let's identify the high liquidity supply zones from this list. The first one is AU Bank, Divi's Lab, and Dixon. These TCP zones are nothing but counter trend trade setup related zones. Based on that, these zones are created. And the next one is a power grid. So total 4 high liquidity supply zones are identified from this daily time frame. Actually 3 only. Dixon is a pierced zone. It is not valid. So we have only 3. AU Bank, Divi's Lab, and power grid. So 3 are valid supply zones. Ignore Dixon, it is a already pierced zone. Okay. Next, for daily time frame, so prices closed inside the daily demand zone. These daily demand zones should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at a daily time frame, minimum value is 0 and maximum value is 0. With this filter, we got a good number of stocks. These are the first 15 stocks. I am scrolling the list down. So total 26 stocks are filtered where price closed inside the daily demand zone. Okay, in these 26 stocks, there could be high priority based on high probability setup related zones based on the daily EMA Confluence. So in the EMA Confluence at a daily time frame, daily demand zone having daily EMA Confluence filter is enabled, and this EMA Confluence is applicable only in the trending, not sideways market. So in the trend zone, violation trend at a daily time frame, I am selecting up or down trends. With this we got 6 stocks. So all these 6 daily demand zones are having daily EMA Confluence. Okay, next let us look for daily time frame. Let us look for price closed inside daily supply zone. And these daily supply zones should not be pierced. So in the pierced count, daily time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. So that zone is not pierced. Daily supply zone is not pierced. We got 14 stocks. In these 14 stocks, currently price closed inside the daily supply zone. Among these 14 daily supply zones, there could be high probability setup daily zones based on daily EMA Confluence. Let's get those stocks. So EMA Confluence at a daily time frame, daily supply zones having daily EMA Confluence filter is enabled, and EMA Confluence should be used only in the trending market. So in the trend zone violation trend at a daily time frame, I am using up or down trend. With these filters, we got 8 stocks. In all these 8 daily supply zones are having a daily EMA Confluence. Downtrend, in this daily downtrend, stocks can be used for either HTF or ITF for bearish trade setups. Uptrend stocks, you can use it for HTF or you can use it as HTF or ITF zone. So for counter trend trade related setup stocks. Okay, this is about daily time frame. Next time frame is 125 minutes. Stocks near 125 minutes demand zone. These are the first 15 stocks. I'm scrolling the list down. So total 23 stocks are filtered. So currently price closed in these 23 125 minutes demand zones. Next, for 125 minutes time frame, price closed near 125 minutes supply zone. We got 9 stocks. Okay, next time frame is 75 minutes. Entry time frame 75 minutes. Let us find the stocks near 75 minutes demand zone. We got a big list. These are the first 15 stocks. I am scrolling the list down. There could be some peers demand zones are there. Let me eliminate them so that list will be reduced. 75 minutes demand zone and the peers count at 75 minutes time frame. Minimum value I am setting 0, maximum value 0. So 75 minutes demand zones should not be pierced. Still we got a big list. These are the first 15 stocks. I am scrolling the list down. So total 28 stocks are filtered, having price near to the 75 minutes demand zone. In these 28, there are high liquidity zones are available. Let's find them. First one is NIFTY Auto. It is not listed in F&O. You can't trade. NIFTY FMCG. This is also high liquidity and also not listed in F&O. It is an indices. You can't trade. This is the low priority zone. TCO zone. Yeah, Apollo Tides is having a high liquidity, 75 minutes demand zone. Indigo is having a 75 minutes high liquidity demand zone. Jubilant Food is having a 75 minutes high liquidity demand zone. NMDC is having high liquidity 75 minutes demand zone. ONGC is having high liquidity demand zone. State Bank of India is having a high liquidity demand zone. Titan is having a high liquidity demand zone. Ultra Cement is having high liquidity 75 minutes demand zone. That's it. We got 8 75 minutes high liquidity demand zones from this list. It's a big list. So you should carefully fine tune the zone. There could be some zones might be violated based on the concepts learned in lesson 16. You should identify them. Find proper fine-tuned zones and you can plan trades because you got a big list. 8 stocks. Okay. Next, for 75 minutes time frame, let's find the stocks near 75 minutes supply zone. We got only one stock and it is not having any high liquidity 75 minutes supply zone. Okay. Next time frame is 25 minutes. Let's find the stocks near 25 minutes demand zone. 14 stocks are filtered. Next, 25 minutes time frame. Let's find the stocks near 25 minutes supply zone. 2 stocks are filtered. Next time frame is 15 minutes. Let's find the stocks near 15 minutes demand zone. 7 stocks are filtered. Let's identify any of these stocks are having ITF demand zone confluence. That is 15 minutes demand zone having confluence with 75 minutes demand zone. I'm enabling that filter. With this filter, we got 3 stocks. In that first one is a pierced zone, you can ignore it. Okay, next for 15 minutes time frame, let us find the stocks near 15 minutes supply zone. Only 2 stocks are filtered. In that second one is pierced. Let's check first one is having ITF supply zone confluence. That is 15 minutes supply zone with 75 minutes supply zone confluence filter is enabled. With this filter, we got ICICI, good. This is having ITF confluence. That means this 15 minute supply zone is a part of the 75 minute supply zone. Part means it is overlapped. Okay, next time frame is 5 minutes. Let's find the stocks near 5 minutes demand zone. We got 8 stocks. Let's identify how many of these demand zones are having ITF confluence. That is 5 minutes demand zone with 15 minutes demand zone confluence. Enable the filter. With this filter, we got 3 stocks. In all these 3 stocks, 5 minute zones are part of the 15 minute zone. Next, for 5 minutes time frame, let's find the stocks near 5 minute supply zone. We got 4 stocks. Let's verify how many of these stocks are having ITF supply zone confluence. That is 5 minute supply zone with 15 minute supply zone confluence. Enable the filter. With this filter, we got only 1 stock. Okay, this is about stocks near demand and supply zones. Next, let us identify NIFTY and BANKNIFTY supply demand zone chain. Let's start with NIFTY 50. So NIFTY 50, starting with monthly time frame, generating supply demand zone chain for NIFTY, monthly supply demand zone chain. This is the monthly supply demand zone chain. Always look into the zone column to find the high liquidity zones. Always look into the pierced column to find the pierced zones. Always look into the LTF trend to find the trend of the current time frame you have selected. Apply all these rules for the remaining reports, and also don't forget to pause the video when you are moving from one report to another report, because I am giving you only few seconds time. Okay, next time frame is weekly, generating weekly supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next time frame is daily. So daily supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next time frame is 125 minutes. 125 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next time frame is 75 minutes. 75 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next time frame is 25 minutes. 25 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next time frame is 15 minutes. 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next time frame is 5 minutes. 5 minutes supply demand zone chain for Nifty. All are supply zones except 32. So I am scrolling the list down. Okay, this is about Nifty supply demand zone chain. Next, let us generate Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain. That is nothing but Nifty Bank. Let's start with the monthly time frame. Generating monthly supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next time frame is weekly. So weekly supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next time frame is daily. Daily supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next time frame is 125 minutes. 125 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next time frame is 75 minutes. 75 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next time frame is 25 minutes. 25 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next time frame is 15 minutes. 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. The last time frame is 5 minutes. 5 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. So this is about Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain. So next set of reports are about bullish and bearish trade setups for monthly, weekly and daily income trades. So let's start with the monthly income trade bullish trade setup. Entry time frame is daily. Entry zone is demand zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at daily time frame, I am selecting bullish. And this daily demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count parameter, at the daily time frame, that is entry time frame, I am setting minimum value to 0 and maximum value to 0. That means pierced count should be 0. Pierced count 0 means zone is not pierced. And zone achievement should always be violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score is 12. All the three filters are applied to daily demand zone. Let's verify. We got 10 stocks. And these 10 stocks are supporting bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. That is entry time frame, daily demand zones. In these 10 daily demand zones, there could be some high probability setup supported zones might be available based on ITF and LTF confluence, and also ITF, LTF, HTF confluence. First, let us look into LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. That is a daily and weekly demand zone confluence. So I am enabling the filter daily demand zone with weekly demand zone confluence. With this filter, out of those 10 stocks, we got 3 stocks. In all these 3 stocks, the daily demand zones are part of the weekly demand zone. So in these 3 stocks, how many are having a weekly EMA confluence? Because daily zone is part of weekly and weekly trend is up. If these weekly zones are having weekly EMA confluence, they are even more high probability setup. Let's verify. So in the EMA confluence, weekly time frame, weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence, we got 1 stock. So this is a high probability setup supported stock. Okay, next let us identify LTF, ITF and HTF demand zone confluence. I am removing this EMA filter. So in the demand zone confluence, three filters we have to set. First one is already enabled, daily with weekly. Next, daily demand zone with monthly demand zone confluence, and weekly demand zone with monthly demand zone confluence. With all the three filters, we did not get any stocks. Okay, next let us look for bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Entry time frame is daily, entry zone is supply zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at daily, I am selecting bearish. These daily supply zones should not be pierced. So in the pierced count, at a daily time frame, minimum value I am setting 0, maximum value I am setting 0. With this and zone achievement violated opposing zone and minimum odd enhanced score is 12. All three filters are applied to daily supply zone, and we did not get any stocks. Currently no stocks are supporting bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Okay, next bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. Entry time frame is 75 minutes, entry zone, demand zone. Bullish or bearish trade setup at 75 minutes, I am selecting bullish. These 75 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 75 minutes, minimum value is 0, maximum value is 0. That means 75 minutes demand zone is not pierced. Zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhanced score is 12. All the three filters are applied to 75 minutes demand zone. And we got 10 stocks. These 10 stocks are supporting bullish trade setup for weekly income trade, and entry zones are 75 minutes demand zones. In all these 10 75 minutes demand zones, there could be some high probability setup supported stocks might be available. First, let us filter based on LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. That is 75 minutes and daily demand zone confluence. So I am enabling that filter. So with this filter, we got 6 stocks. In all these 6 stocks, the 75 minutes entry demand zone is part of the daily demand zone. That is what zone confluence. Because 75 minute zone is part of daily demand zone, if these daily demand zones are having daily EMA confluence and also the trend is uptrend, there could be even more high probability setup supported stocks. Let us identify them. So in the EMA confluence at a daily time frame, daily demand zone with the daily EMA confluence filter is enabled. With this filter, we got 2 stocks. So these 2 are even more high probability setup stocks. And moreover, both these 75 minutes these are the demand zones. We are looking for bullish trade setup, right? Not high liquidity. Supply zones are high liquidity, but both are pierced zones. So these demand zones are very strong, high probability setup supported stocks. Okay, next let us look for LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence. I am removing this EMA filter. LTF, ITF, HTF, that is 75 minutes daily and weekly demand zone confluence. 3 filters we have to set. First one is already enabled, 75 with daily. Next 75 minutes demand zone with weekly demand zone confluence. Daily demand zone with weekly demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, LTF, ITF, HTF, demand zone confluence, we got 3 stocks. In all the 3 stocks, the 75 minutes entry demand zone is part of the daily demand zone. Both together again part of the weekly demand zone. And the weekly means HTF. The weekly trend is up in all the 3 stocks. If all these 3 stocks weekly zone is having weekly EMA confluence, they are even more high probability setup supported stocks. Why weekly zone? Because 75 and daily together are part of the weekly zone. That's why we are focusing on weekly EMA confluence. So in the EMA confluence, weekly time frame, weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence filter is enabled. With this filter, we got all the 3 stocks. So they are more high probability setup supported stocks because they have uptrend on weekly time frame, and also the weekly zones are having weekly EMA confluence, and 75 and daily zones are part of the weekly zone. Part means they are having confluence, zone confluence. They are overlapped. And not only that, all the three 75 minutes demand zones are high liquidity demand zones, 75 minutes demand zones. They are the entry zones. Okay, this is about weekly income trade. Next, bullish trade setup. Next, weekly income trade bearish trade setup. Entry time frame is 75 minutes. Entry zone is supply zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 75 minutes, I am selecting bearish. The 75 minute supply zones are should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 75 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. Zone achievement violated, opposing zone, minimum odd enhancer score is 12, and 12, and all the three filters should be applied to 75 minute supply zone. Let's verify. We got 7 stocks. Currently, all these 7 stocks are supporting bearish trade setup for weekly income trade, and entry zones are 75 minute supply zones. In these 7 75 minute supply zones, there could be some high probability setup supported zones might be available. So first we will filter based on LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. That is 75 minutes and daily supply zone confluence. So I am enabling the filter 75 minute supply zone with daily supply zone confluence. With this filter, from the 7 stocks, we got 4 stocks. So these are the high probability setup stocks. In all these 7, ITF trend is down. ITF means daily trend. If any of these, and also 75 minute zone is part of the daily zone. They are part of the daily zone. So that's why if the daily zone is having daily EMA confluence, if any of these stocks, they are even more high probability setup supported stocks. Let's identify them. So in the EMA confluence at a daily time frame, because 75 minutes entry supply zone is part of the daily supply zone. So this daily supply zone is having daily EMA confluence. It could be even more high probability setup. Let's verify. We got 2 stocks. So these 2 supply zones are having daily supply zones are having daily EMA confluence. Okay, next let us look for LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence. I am removing EMA filter. LTF, ITF, HTF, that is 75 minutes daily and weekly supply zone confluence. Already first filter is enabled, 75 supply zone with daily supply zone confluence. Next filter 75 minute supply zone with weekly supply zone confluence. And the next filter daily supply zone with weekly supply zone confluence. All the 3 filters are enabled. With this we got LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence. We got only 1 stock. In this stock, the 75 minute supply zone is part of the daily supply zone. Both together again part of the weekly supply zone. If this weekly supply zone is having weekly EMA confluence, because the weekly trend is a downtrend, it could be even more high probability setup stock. Let's verify. Already it is high probability, but even EMA confluence, it could be even more high probability. So that's why in the EMA confluence weekly time frame, because 75 minutes and daily together part of weekly supply zone. That's why weekly supply zone is having weekly EMA confluence. That could be even more high probability, but that is not having EMA confluence. Okay, next let us look for bullish trade setup for daily income trade. For daily income trade, entry time frame is 15 minutes, entry zone, demand zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 15 minutes, I am selecting bullish. The 15 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 15 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. Zone achievement is violated, opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score is 12. All the 3 filters are applied to 15 minutes demand zone. Let's verify. We got 3 stocks. In all these 3 stocks, the 15 minutes entry demand zone is part of, all these 15 minutes demand zones are currently supporting bullish trade setup. Sorry for my mistake. All these 15 minutes demand zones are currently supporting bullish trade setup for daily income trade. The entry zones are 15 minutes demand zones. In these 3 15 minutes demand zones, there could be some high probability supported stocks might be available. First, let us filter based on LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. That is 15 minutes demand zone with 75 minutes demand zone confluence. I am enabling that filter. With this filter, out of the 3 stocks, 2 stocks are having ITF confluence. That means 15 minutes demand zone is part of the 75 minutes demand zone. 75 minutes trend is uptrend. If any of these stocks are having 75 minutes demand zone with daily EMA confluence, there could be even more high probability setup. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence, 75 minutes time frame, that is ITF time frame, 75 minutes demand zone with daily EMA confluence. We got both the stocks. That means both are even more high probability setup supported stocks. These demand zones. Okay, next let us look for LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence among these 2 stocks. I am removing EMA filter. So first one is 15 minutes with 75 minutes demand zone confluence. Filter is already enabled. Next 15 minutes demand zone with daily demand zone confluence. 75 minutes demand zone with daily demand zone confluence. All the 3 filters are enabled. LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence. We got again both the stocks. And both stocks are having uptrend. And obviously both will be having daily EMA confluence because 75 is part of the daily. If 75 is having EMA confluence, daily also will be having. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence, daily time frame, daily demand zone having daily EMA confluence. Only one stock is filtered. Probably one of the zone could be overlapped. Part is outside, part is inside. The outside part might be having EMA confluence. That's why only one is filtered. Anyway, this is even more high probability setup. So this is about the bullish trade setup for daily income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Entry time frame is 15 minutes. Entry zone is supply zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup, at 15 minutes entry time frame, I am selecting bearish. The 15 minute supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count, at 15 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means 15 minutes supply zone is not pierced. And zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhances score 12. And all the 3 filters are applied to 15 minutes supply zone. Now let's filter the stocks. We got a big list. These are the first 15 stocks. I am scrolling the list down. So total 21 stocks are filtered. All these 21 stocks are currently supporting bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Entry zones are 15 minute supply zones. Among these 21 15 minute supply zones, there could be high probability setup supported stocks might be available. Let us filter them. First filter is based on LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. That is 15 minutes and 75 minutes supply zone confluence. So let me enable that filter. 15 minute supply zone with 75 minute supply zone confluence. With this filter, we got Again, good stocks. These are the first 15 stocks. I am scrolling the list down. So total 18 stocks are filtered. In all these 18 stocks, they are supporting bearish trade setup for a daily income trade, that is 15-minute supply zone, and also these 15-minute supply zones are overlapped with 75-minute supply zones. Okay, out of these 18, if any of these supply zones are having daily EMA confluence. Why daily EMA? Because the 75-minute trend is a downtrend. Because they are downtrend, EMA confluence. So in the EMA confluence at 75 minutes time frame, because EMA confluence daily is the last one we have to use. Going below daily EMA is not effective. That's why we kept the minimum EMA confluence is daily. We have weekly, we have monthly EMA confluence. But below we didn't have 125 or 75 minutes EMA because they are not much effective. So that's why we limited to daily. So 75 minutes 75 minutes supply zone having daily EMA confluence filter is enabled. With this filter, we got 2 stocks. So these 2 are even more high probability setup supported supply zones. Okay, next let us look for LTF and ITF and HTF supply zone confluence. I think earlier we got around 18 stocks, right? With LTF and ITF. So within that list, how many are having even HTF supply zone confluence? That is what we need to verify. So we need to set 3 filters. First filter, 15-minute supply zone with 75-minute supply zone confluence filter is already enabled. Second filter, 15-minute supply zone with daily supply zone confluence filter. And third one is 75-minute supply zone with daily supply zone confluence. All the 3 filters are enabled. With this LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence, we got 8 stocks. That means all these are all 15-minute supply zones. These 15-minute supply zones are part of the 75-minute supply zone. Both together again part of the daily supply zone. So that means all the zones are part of the daily zone. Because the daily supply zone is having downtrend in all the stocks except second and third, and except these 2, if remaining stocks are having any EMA confluence, they are even more high probability setup supported stocks. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence at a daily time frame, daily supply zone with daily EMA confluence. With this filter, we got 5 stocks. Out of these 5, second and third are having sideways, ignore them. You can also filter them. How we can filter? In the trend, zone violation trend, at a daily time frame, you need to select down because they are the bearish trade setup, select the downtrend. So now we got only 3 stocks. HTF trend is a downtrend. This is the advantage of this strategy builder. You can filter the stocks in different ways. Okay, first one is indices that is not listed in F&O. Second and third are even more high probability setup stocks, and also their zones also high liquidity zones. These 15 minutes supply zones, because these are the entry zones, 15-minute zones, because our entry time frame is 15 minutes. Always we display entry zones on the list. Okay, this is about bearish trade setup for daily income trade. And in the last report, let us look for, let us generate stop buffers based on daily ATR. First 17 in this list are indices, remaining all are equity stocks listed in F&O. So I am scrolling the list down, whichever the stock you want to refer, there you please pause the video. So this is the end of the report. Hope this information will be useful to you. Let's all meet again in our next video. Thank you.